Tell us a little bit about Big Potato and where you guys came from.
Yes, so Big Potato, we've been trading for about 5 years. We started by making a game called Linkee.
Yes.
Yeah, long time ago. Well, it feels like a long time ago. So that was on Dragon's Den, did really well, and we then turned into Big Potato. So all of the games, the new games since Linkee, are under the umbrella of Big Potato. So we pretty much bring out a trivia game every year, kind of to commemorate Linkee, but also because we're quite good at trivia games. And then we kind of specialise in party and some family games as well. Linkee was one of the founders. Tris came up with the idea for Linkee, and they were working at an advertising agency, so our 3 founders were working together at the time. And so himself and another founder, Ben, got together, came up with Linkee, and then Dean, as the business head behind it, kind of took it to where it went.
And where do you guys mostly sell your games? Do you sell them mostly online, or will you go through like retailers in England?
So obviously, like, one of the biggest distribution channels for us is Amazon. Obviously massive, probably for any board game. But we also have them in lots of stores, so like John Lewis, Debenhams, and we really look after like independent shops as well. So like I, for example, am like one of the account managers, so I'm always looking for more independent shops to take our games into.
Like, do you find it's been easy or hard to live in this space for board games, in the sense of, like, you have these big publishers like Mayfair, the huge guys, Z-Man, and then you have like Kickstarter indies, and then Big Potato sort of sits in a pretty rare
kind of in between,
has that just been an easy thing to do, or has it been challenging?
Yeah, it's quite funny because when you go to people who don't know us and you're trying to describe the company, you're kind of describing yourself as a small independent company, but at the same time within the industry, like board game cafes and kind of like, you know, if you go to UK Games Expo and stuff, we are known. So it is kind of a funny place to sit, but I think you just kind of go with it, and it's quite nice actually, because you can kind of, you're not almost labeled, and you know, the people who don't like the corporates are okay with you, and the people who don't trust maybe the indie dudes are okay with you. So I think it's quite snug, but I think, yeah, and I'm not really sure where it's going to go, if we're ever going to go to that big, you know, Mayfair of Hasbro, of all that stuff.
With the party stuff, do you think there is an audience that exists there for like mass scale party games?
I think so. I think like we would consider ourselves probably like gateway games, which I know, like, if you are a gamer, you would consider games like Carcassonne, Ticket to Ride, things like that gateway games. And technically our games are more party games than, in my opinion, than gateway games. But I think that we're starting to branch out. Like games like the Chameleon that we brought out last year are lovely, because they're great for non-gamers, but they're really great for gamers as well. And we are trying to kind of find the balance as well. So this year we did try to branch out into more gamery games, but I think we're trying to stay within our brands. We know what our brand is, we know what our personality is, and we know what our customers want from us. So we're always toying around with trying to branch out and reach more people, and we just get the feedback and go with whatever the feedback is we get.
Do you play test everything in your office with your staff, or do you outsource that?
Yeah, so every Friday we have games and pastries. So that at the moment that's involving us game testing or new games that are coming out in August. So we're very much doing that for the next couple of weeks and months. Whereas kind of in those months where we're maybe not developing the games, not in that kind of time period, we tend to use that Friday as just learning new games. So a few months, like way back before Christmas, you know, I taught them like 7 Wonders, and like we kind of learn the ones that or we teach the ones that everyone kind of knows or not necessarily knows, and they might not be Big Potato games, but we're just trying to educate ourselves the whole time. Yeah.
What's your favourite Big Potato game that's out now, that's available to buy?
So I used to be the events person for Big Potato, so I've demoed all of the games like to death, right? So and I feel like Scrawl has got to be my answer for that, mainly because, you know, you demo these over and over again, and after a while, maybe I think for the most part they are still quite funny, but Scrawl is just as funny as the first day I played it, and it just doesn't seem to get old, and I think that for me is really important in a game, is that kind of replayability.
I think with party games having the sort of sense of a different group will bring a different thing to it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, in my personal opinion, Scrawl. But I think we've got such a variety of games now, it kind of depends what you're in the mood for. So that's obviously a great party game, we've got trivia, and then we've got like, if I'm in the mood for something more intense, I really like the comedians, so it kind of depends. But yeah, Scrawl I would say overall.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.